Hello and welcome to the program. Israel is ready to sign a free trade zone agreement with Ukraine. This will help increase bilateral trade that currently amounts to $1 billion a year. But what opportunities will appear for both countries after signing the free trade agreement? To talk more about this, we welcome to the studio today Joel Lyon, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the State of Israel to Ukraine. Hello and thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
So first question, how long has the FTA agreement been prepared for?
We are talking roughly about 7 years, while in the last 2 years we had intensive discussions and dialogue. Here we have to talk about the main players, which were President Poroshenko and Prime Minister Netanyahu pushed. We had the Vice Prime Minister Zubko, Prime Minister Groisman. From our side, we had the Minister of Economy, Mr. Cohen, and also Minister Elking, who is the head of the Economical Commission between Israel and Ukraine. So everyone pushed a little bit because they said 7 years of negotiations. It's time. It
is indeed a long
time.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's time to have something to cut everything and to find solutions. So it was a political push, which gave to the bureaucracy the means to come to the agreement.
Now, what are the main points, roughly resumed, of this agreement?
Yes, so roughly talk about we are talking on to have more from the Israeli side an import free of tax of grains as raw materials, because we are talking about grains normally, but grains as raw material like sunflower seeds and cotton seeds to make oils. We have, of course, wheat, corn, barley, iron and steel for the industry. 63% of Ukrainians export to Israel is agriculture. So it opens. From the Israeli side, we have fruits and vegetables like avocado and I think you call it the Sharon fruits, dates. We have also fruit juice will be free of taxes. Wine, I know about wine, plastic and rubber, and maybe also very important, it's the medical equipment
that we're gonna develop, because these are opportunities for both countries. Can you expand on this matter?
Yes. First of all, the opportunities. I mean, I think that the opportunities give an easier access to the businessman to new markets. So that's the opportunity. Of course, we know the markets. Israel and Ukraine are very close. We are close in mentality. We have so many people speaking the same language in both countries. 3 hours flight, 6 flights a day from Kiev. There is no problem. We know one the other, but. Having said that, we only have $800,000 a year of trade volume. With this agreement, we see in the 5 next year 15% of increase, which is the opportunity for businessmen to look for new markets. You have great manpower. We have great manpower. We have to see what we can do together to make more and to do more. So that's the first opportunity to be taken.
Now, we talked about Israeli investors, how to ensure the safety and the security of these investors coming to Ukraine, which is a peculiar market for this matter.
Yes, it is. It is. I mean, we are not so talking right now about investors, but more about exporters. Still, people are afraid to invest in Ukraine. Let's face it. You are on a good way. You are in process of reforms in all the fields that need to be reformed. But if somebody would ask me, I would say yes. Try. See if it's okay, if it's going on, and look what to do. So you're on a good way, and I hope that it will be in the next years that you will see much more investors coming and not fearing to invest their money here. But on the other hand, if you ask me what we can do more on this agreement, I mean, we should begin with negotiations to wider the agreement to services and to fiscal services. Why services? Because Israeli companies are working in Ukraine with the Ukrainian manpower. You have software companies who are developing the softwares here in Ukraine.
Booming sector.
So it's really booming sector. I heard a number. I cannot say if it's true or not, but I heard something about 10,000 Ukrainians working in Ukraine for Israeli companies in the software industry. So it means that also for the Ukrainian economy, people are getting a better salary without leaving the countries. It means that it let the people have the salary in the country, and so it's a good thing if we will begin the negotiations in order to widen the agreement.
So you're saying that this agreement is beneficial for both countries on the matter of standards of living, basically?
Yes, the standards of living, of course, because first of all, it is decreasing the cost of living. Why? The moment that you have imports without taxes, the competition will come and lower the prices. So you have lower prices for basics like fruit and vegetable, which is lowering the cost of living. On the other hand, it's also enhancing the quality of life. Why? Because if you take the free import of medical equipments to Ukraine from Israel, it means that, and I don't have to say it here, everyone knows about the Israeli technology, startup nation, etc., etc. But having these equipments coming to Ukraine without taxes, being implemented in hospitals, being implemented in clinics all around the country, automatically the people will have a better access to these new technologies on health, and it will be for their benefit. So I think that we can really say that not only on the economical level and the economical indicators it will help, but also on the level really of helping the Mr. Normal to have a better life.
Now that's the issue of medical equipment is an important issue, of course, and the matter of bringing them to the country and to Ukraine is important, but they have to arrive at the hospital. Do you think that the fact that it is a free trade agreement between two countries, that Israel is going to supervise the arrival of this equipment, will ensure that they arrive at the good hospital, at the good places?
That's the problem of free markets. Israel is a completely free market. We don't have any supervision on the private companies. Yes, if you would ask me about a national company, but we don't have any national company who is producing such an equipment. It's all on the private level. So if you have a private company coming here to Ukraine and dealing with a private company, I mean, it will be private to private, so
yes,
nobody will do it. If they are dealing with the hospital, the hope is that because it will be open tenders, and the tenders we hope will be transparent and free. The goods will come to the place, and I'm pretty sure that it will arrive to the place, because it's the way it should be, and if you are on the good way, that's the way that it should be, and that's the.
Now, these equipment and this expertise on that matter from Israel also will help on the rehabilitation for veterans, which is, of course, a pressing matter in Ukraine. Can you explain on
yes,
that?
I mean, we are dealing, and here we are coming to another field, which is also a field that I hope will increase also maybe to the economical level. But the field of what we call Mashav. Mashav is the Israeli agency for cooperation worldwide, and we are working on three fields there. First field is agro-business, agro-technology. Of course, your country is almost, I think you are the fourth country in the world in export of agricultural goods. So, of course, that with the Israeli technology is the improving of the production, but also of post-harvest. We just had couple of months ago a special training for Ukrainians to learn about
about
post-harvest, because it's not only to harvest it. What are you doing afterwards? Don't you have things getting bad after the harvest? So that's one field that we are cooperating, and the hope is from this cooperation again to have the private companies looking, the private farmers saying, oh well, I will buy the technology and so on and so forth. So again, for the benefit. The second point, and that's the point of the medical assistance, that we are working right now. We are working with the hospitals in Dnipro and in Kharkiv for physical rehabilitation of veterans, but also of children, of people who were touched by the war. I mean, yes, the veterans, but don't forget that you have also a lot of civilians who were also injured. So all this is done in the framework of our cooperation. And the third field, it's a very important field all over the world, is inclusive education. Children with special needs. We are one of the leading countries in the world where we are. I would say it's inclusive education. It's putting the children together with other children in the same class, and
equal
thing. And yes, it is a very important field that we are trying. And here again, we have very good partners in Ukraine.
Now, how do you assess the Ukrainian-Israeli relations in general now, and how did they change in recent years?
So first of all, I think that right now we can say that we have very good relations. Very good relations. I mean, okay, great. You're a diplomat. You say very good relations. Everyone said very good relations. What does it mean, very good relations? It means that we are cooperating in a lot of fields on the international sphere. We are cooperating in the UN. We are cooperating in projects. We are cooperating. We are working together. We have bilateral visits. The visit of your president next week in Israel is one of the signs of these good relations. Visit of our ministers coming to Ukraine. The visit of civil servants of any ministries that are doing the way between our countries. So that's one sign of the good relations. The second, I think, it's the atmosphere in where the relations are done. That if there is something that we have to talk, we can talk about it. We have open doors. Ukraine has open doors in Israel. We have open doors here. So we really can talk one with the other and speak about problematic subjects if we have problematic subjects.
Now that was for the past, and to conclude this interview, I'd like to focus on the future. How do you see these relations in general improve for the next future, and what can Ukraine itself improve for these relations to continue?
So first of all is to move the embassy to Jerusalem.
Okay, that's
the first things, that's the first steps that we are asking all our friends to do, because it's the normal way of history. Jerusalem was, and will be the united capital of the State of Israel. Jerusalem, for us also, it's the symbol of the Jewish people. So
it is indeed a long and complicated process.
It is a long and complicated process. We're not awaiting that tomorrow morning it will happen, but it is happening, and you see countries all around the world making moves. The Czech Republic, for example, are moving a part of the embassy to Jerusalem. We're waiting from other countries to do the same. Of course, the Americans did it and brought the ambassador to Jerusalem. So that's one thing that we see from our friends. The second thing is, again, to understand where there are, I will say, sensibilities of the Jewish people. And I think that the government understands and is trying to do its best. It's not easy. There are a lot of political pressure.
Of course.
But yes, we see that they are doing things and understanding the sensibilities.
So you would say that Ukraine in general is a promising partner for Israel?
Ukraine is a reliable and a promising partner for Israel.
Well, thank you very much for coming in our studio today. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
That was Joel Leon, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the State of Israel to Ukraine. Thank you for watching the program, and stay tuned for the rest.